Hello and welcome to this episode of A Muggle's Perspective. I am Rogge. I am your host. I know about Harry Potter. I'm here with Braden. He is not the host. He's the other. Are you a host? You're like a co-host?
Yeah, in some ways I could be a co-host.
He's the color commentator to my play-by-play.
Yeah.
He's my booth mate. He doesn't know about Harry Potter. And that's the conceit of the show. Rachel recently listened to an old episode, or one that was released now in our time anyway, and she was annoyed that we didn't do an intro at the beginning and talk about the weather.
I forgot that we used to do that. Used to kind of discuss the weather. The weather is beautiful today in Indiana.
Gorgeous the last couple of days.
I don't know how it could be any better.
No, it's everything you want.
It's warm, but not hot. Mm-hmm. Clear skies, a bit of a breeze. It's really nice. We are coming to you live less than 24 hours after Andrew Luck's abrupt retirement.
Yeah, wild.
So I'm sorry if you don't care about sports. You can skip through the next however many seconds we use to talk about this, but I'm shook.
It's what I've really enjoyed is the people who I follow roasting people that get mad about it. Like, he was booed at a preseason game yesterday because fans found out. They were booing him off the field. Yeah,
that was a bad look for Indianapolis.
And so a lot of people have been like, this stinks as a Colts fan, but we wish him the best and we want him to be happy and respect his, the decision he's making and stuff. And that's been good. It's been heartening to see that.
Yeah. Yep, I can't blame the guy at all. He has made his money. He's going to be a dad soon. He's married. And he's sick of beating the crap out of his body. Mm-hmm. Probably wants to be able to walk around with his child and think clearly. So, yeah, as a fan, I hate it, but I can't blame the guy. It makes sense.
We're hours from a fantasy football dynasty draft. And so, just the implications, the reverberations.
Yeah, that's huge. We drafted last weekend. Thankfully, I did not select Andrew Luck.
Did you select any Colts players?
Eric Ebron.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
So, that was kind of a gamble, even if Luck came back.
Yeah.
So,
is he your starting tight end?
Yeah. He was about all that was left. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm in a dynasty draft, so I think I'm going to take TJ Hawkinson in the first round.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully none of them listen to this before it comes out so they know what I'm planning on doing,
That is highly unlikely.
I actually straight up already told one of the other guys that I was probably going to do that, so he's like, oh, dang, I was hoping to get him in the second round. Anyway, we are covering chapters 9 through 12. Here, let's give you a... Okay. That breaks us back into Harry Potter here. Chapters 9 through 12 of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. If you're new here, which, as always, why? But if you're new here, Braden's never read these chapters before. He read them for the first time this last week. He's got thoughts on them. We're going to find out what he does and doesn't care about in these chapters. And hopefully he's going to make some predictions that will sound ridiculous to you because you know the future of Harry Potter. So we start out with chapter 9, The Woes of Mrs. Weasley. I guess I want to ask you, when you first read that chapter title, what went through your mind?
Well, we've already had some sort of weird interaction with Mrs. Weasley. She's super tense, super on edge, and so I didn't have a huge prediction, but it was the woes of Mrs. Weasley. Like, I figured we were going to hit our breaking point as far as her and Sirius and just the awkward tension that is her trying to keep Harry and his friends somewhat in the dark as far as what they know about the Order and what Voldemort's doing.
And so, I mean, I guess it kind of took a turn from that. I mean, that isn't it wasn't Sirius related.
Nope.
It was Order related, I guess, but in a much more humane way.
Yeah, not what I expected to see. And in true JKR fashion, left me with more questions than answers.
Good. Well, we'll get to that part here in a second. But I love you having more questions than answers. So we opened the chapter walking straight out of that courtroom where we left Harry, being ignored by Dumbledore. My first question for you was about they walk into kind of Lucius Malfoy and Cornelius Fudge. So I wondered if you had any reactions to that, any inferences as to like things that could maybe be going on behind the scenes with the Malfoy Fudge connection.
Yeah, it can't be good. Can't be a positive thing. Just knowing what we know about Malfoy now being an active Death Eater, and knowing that Fudge is doing anything in his power to sort of quiet the crowd, I guess is the best way to explain it, of those who believe that Voldemort's back and alive. Which I think I talked about on the last episode, just seems like Fudge is going to be an easy target for Voldemort and his team to manipulate. And so I think that this lends itself right into that idea. Malfoy is a pretty connected guy with money and influence, has the whole intimidation factor. And so I don't think this is good.
Yeah, from what Arthur says, it seems like he's been buttering up to Fudge into the Ministry for years. I mean, we saw the influence he had trying to get Dumbledore fired, trying to get Buckbeak executed, and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's like you said, it's just manipulation towards keeping Fudge in this weird limbo of pretending that he's not back, because it wouldn't be... You know, you can go make Voldemort the Minister of Magic if you want, but that doesn't advance their aims as much as like secrecy and deception at this point.
Yeah, and I think that like the big theme that I'm catching even from these 4 chapters as a whole is just, you know, the Sorting Hat and Dumbledore have both. It seems like the common warning is, we have to stay together and unified, because that's how Voldemort wins, is he sows, I don't know what the right word would be.
Dissent? Yeah.
Just, you know, gets in between relationships and kind of causes friction between just members of Hogwarts and anyone who's not on his side. So that... Lucius working on Fudge kind of behind the scenes, there's already weird tension between the Ministry and Hogwarts, and so that smells like Voldemort.
Yeah, and we'll see a couple chapters from now. For the next couple chapters, it's sort of like your normal Harry Potter's going to school. He's got like regular teenage issues, and he wishes that he was prefect and that kind of stuff. We haven't seen direct influence or like a hand that you can make, yeah, that's Voldemort, like look at that evil thing that's happening. There's not been any of that yet, so it's interesting to see, like you said, he's trying to play more of the divider relationship kind of thing than just out and out doing evil.
Right.
So Harry and Arthur are going to go back to Grimmauld Place, and then here on page 156, so that's where they start talking to Ron and Hermione, yay, you're back, all that kind of stuff. What I wanted to ask you about was Sirius's reaction, which they don't really get to until 158. What was your interpretation of Harry talking about how Sirius kind of took that news about him getting back and reinstated to Hogwarts?
Sirius isn't quite as excited as everybody else, and I think he was just really hoping that in the event Harry did get kicked out of Hogwarts, that would almost certainly equal a lot of like quality time between him and Harry. And you know, he's already caged up and not really allowed to leave the his parents' house, and can't be helping like he wants to be. So I think that he was really banking on like, well, if I can't leave, at least I'll get to hang out with Harry and feel like I'm contributing by, yeah, I don't know, you just teaching him things or talking him through things. And so I'm sure it's kind of a bittersweet thing for Sirius right now.
So Hermione talks a little bit later, a couple pages from here, about how she thinks that Sirius is kind of mixing. He's getting jumbled between who's Harry and who's James. Right? He sees Harry as almost another chance to hang out with James.
Yeah.
One of the things that I read into this immediately is like, this is pretty selfish of Sirius. You know, the best thing for Harry is to go back to school. Is that something that jumps out at you?
Yeah, I think that's the initial obvious reaction. I also try to see it from Sirius's side of, if my best friend died and had left me to be the godfather of his son, and I had the chance to be a big part of his life in a time where he really needs that, like, it would be easy to be selfish and really want to be involved and helping and teaching. And I'm sure he feels like Dumbledore is kind of robbing him of that opportunity right now. So
he's kind of spinning it not so much as like, let's have Harry home to hang out and have fun and play Quidditch in the living room or whatever, but it would maybe be best for Harry if I was just hanging out, looking after him, talking him through stuff, being like a wise counselor and that kind of thing. Like that, like it would maybe have been better if he had been expelled.
I'm sure that Sirius doesn't think it would be better if he was expelled. I think just it's hard to be excited about. Like, I'm sure he's excited for Harry, but it's kind of like I said, bittersweet, because it's like,
yeah,
it would have been really cool to have that time together to learn from each other and just get to know each other better. And I'm sure for Sirius, feel like he is fulfilling that role as a godfather that he hasn't been able to because he's been stuck in Azkaban. So,
yeah, bittersweet is a good phrase. That's good. That's true. Next thing we get to prefects. Were you like Harry and just kind of like, oh yeah, prefects, fifth years?
Yeah, that wasn't on my radar at all.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly probably couldn't have even told you when that fifth year is when they select prefects.
Yeah. So it's Ron and Hermione. What are your thoughts on that?
Hermione's an obvious one.
Yeah.
She probably should have been a prefect before fifth year. Ron's an interesting one. I don't know if it's like the family name. To me, in what I know of prefects, you need to be someone who's got like supreme confidence and doesn't really care what anybody else thinks of you. And Ron doesn't strike me as that character, I guess.
Because, if you're telling people to stop messing around in the hallways, they're not going to be happy with you, and you just kind of gotta let that roll off your back.
Yeah, I think as a prefect, you have to be okay with not being the one with the most friends.
Gotcha.
Because I would say in some ways you're viewed as maybe something akin to like a teacher's pet, kind of.
Like an extension of the disciplinary, like Filch sort of zone.
An extension of authority, yeah. So, which obviously isn't going to bother Hermione at all, but I feel like Ron cares enough about like his reputation amongst the students that it's just an interesting choice.
Do you think that Dumbledore was then trying to protect Harry from that fate?
Protect Harry from in not choosing him as a prefect?
Yeah, he didn't choose him as prefect because he didn't want Harry to be further ostracized by his peers because he needs them as a source of strength.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As we can see in these next couple chapters, Harry's really popular at Hogwarts these days.
His reputation and popularity has been kind of a roller coaster ride through the first few books.
Yeah, it's wild that it's even possible for it to change as much as it does.
Right.
It's like, oh, you're good at Quidditch, everyone loves you. Oh, maybe you're the heir of Slytherin, everyone hates you. Like, people just are willing to go from, oh yeah, I thought he was great, but now I hate him. They just will fully make that turn.
Yeah. Which has to be emotionally taxing for a 14, 15-year-old kid. On top of the emotional dress he's already been in basically his whole life.
Yeah. I mean, we've said many times how wild it is that Harry's as well adjusted as he is.
Right.
So Mrs. Weasley is understandably very excited that Ron was named a prefect next to Hermione. And they throw a party. Do you have any thoughts on this party? Anything that happened and it stuck out to you? I specifically put the photo that Mad Eye shows him, but anything else besides that too?
I don't remember anything significant. Am I missing something?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I just didn't know if anything did stick out to you. We've got all the different people that show up. Bill is there. Let's see.
Oh, we've got the whole dealings between Fred, George, and Mundungus.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that in a Do We Care? Did that...
Yeah.
You kind of remember how that went down?
Yeah, at this point, I think I care about most interactions with Mundungus because I don't trust him.
Yeah, got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah. So he's selling Fred and George. I'm trying to remember what it was. Just ingredients for their skiving snack box stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think that as sneaky and as Fred and George are, the combination of them interacting with Mundungus and kind of using him as an accessory, like, I don't know, maybe I'm overly worried about that character, but I don't trust him.
Yeah, we don't have a reason to trust him at this point.
Right.
I just like their interactions, like they're haggling with him. When they're like, 10 galleons the lot then? And then Mundungus is like, well, I was thinking 20. It was hard to get, and they're like, oh, Dung likes his little jokes. So, like, clearly they've gone through this with him before.
Right.
So then I guess, yeah, Moody shows Harry a picture. And it's got a bunch of Order members. Former Order, original Order, the OG Order of the Phoenix. Did we care about that picture?
I mean, I think it did a number on Harry psychologically. He, I think, is just kind of weirded out by seeing all these people that were eventually murdered by Voldemort, who is now alive again and coming after him. So yep. I'm sure that it's a little bit sobering just to, especially with the way pictures work in the magical world, where they're smiling and it looks like they're kind of interacting with you a little bit, and
yeah.
So,
I mean, a really high percentage of the people in that photo have been killed since then, in the last 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the quote, he says that the members were waving happily out of the photograph forevermore, not knowing that they were doomed. So I'm sure it's kind of eerie looking at that picture.
Yeah, right after that it says, Moody might find that interesting, but Harry found it disturbing.
Yeah.
So, the only other thing I wanted to get to from this chapter is the obvious. Harry walks in on Molly trying to deal with a boggart, and it's not going great.
It's not going great. It's basically, I don't know how to describe it, like putting out visions of her family dead. What's the best way to describe what this boggart's doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's turning into dead representations of her children.
Yeah, which would be horrifying for any mother. So it seems like the boggart just continues to portray different children, and she can't really fight it because she's getting emotionally dominated by it, and she's also embarrassed that she can't get rid of the boggart by herself.
Yeah, I mean, up to now, we've always thought of a boggart as kind of a comedic thing. You know, we had Lupin and turning the boggart into Snape wearing Neville's grandma's clothing. We've never seen someone actually succumb to a boggart. But this just goes to show why you need to take it on with another person.
Right.
So did this change in any way how you view Mrs. Weasley, or like how she's been acting the last couple of chapters, like how tense that she is?
Yeah, I mean, I think it lends itself to some perspective on just, this may not be the first time she's tried to deal with this. And I think just with the circumstances, that Harry, they believe Harry, they know that he had to battle with Voldemort and that he's alive. Like, these visions or whatever that are being portrayed by the boggart, like, have very real potential. So
It's a good representation of the stakes that
Right.
we're facing at this point.
Right.
Okay, I've got some do we cares to round out chapter 9. Do we care about the various reactions of the court members as they walk past Harry? So this is like the first or second page of the chapter, but like some people said hi to him and Arthur. Some people just walked right past. You had the one that like stared him down. Do we care about any of that?
Last of all to pass was Percy. Like Fudge, he completely ignored his father and Harry and marched past, clutching a large roll of parchment and a handful of spare quills. That was the one that I guess I took notice of. Was just like, okay, this is real. The whole rift between Percy and this family. And, Harry talked about wondering if Lucius Malfoy had put the Imperius curse on Fudge.
Yeah.
And I think I'm more worried about if Percy is involved in that as well.
Percy being cursed or Percy doing cursings?
Being cursed. Yeah.
Because like he was always kind of a tightwad, but this is kind of a new level.
Right.
Sure, that's fair. So we kind of care about the Percy aspect.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if we cared about the dealings with Mundungus. We already talked about that. Do we care about Moody congratulating Ron by saying, Dumbledore must think that you can take a curse, because people in positions of authority are always more likely to be attacked?
Yeah, that felt like a foreshadowing moment.
It was foreshadowing more than it was funny.
It had some comedic value. Because I kind of enjoy Moody's character, how he's just like brash and blunt and kind of socially inept.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I guess I felt more like is foreshadowing. Because I think in any story, like the bad guy is going to go after those in positions of authority so that the followers of said leader are left feeling hopeless and scared.
And so now that Ron, I'm imagining Ron as a prefect having followers. It's like if he gets attacked, then all the first years are like, oh no, even a prefect. But
Yeah.
Harry isn't going to be like shaking in his boots,
Right.
But there are the children to consider. Think of the children.
The children, they love the books.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Elf. The very beginning of Elf, when he's a baby.
Okay.
And the books are getting taken away.
I've seen Elf like once.
That's not enough times. It's literally a freaking marathon on probably multiple channels every Christmas.
Yeah. Not a big... I'm trying to think if I've turned on...
Don't say this out loud. Are you about to say that you're not a big Will Ferrell fan?
Oh, no. I mean, like, I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, but I do like Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
I like the original Anchorman. I think is funny. I've seen Talladega Nights is the only Will Ferrell movie I've seen more than once, but there's some Will Ferrell stuff that I enjoy. I'm not a big turning on the TV to like TV channels guy. I don't get home and kick off my shoes and like look to see what's on TV.
I don't either. But at Christmas time, I feel like it's you have Christmas movies playing.
Okay. But that's time that I could be spending playing Mario Party with Jacob, you know?
That's fair.
And so that's what I do. There's some like snow-based levels in Mario Party games.
Different strokes for different folks.
Tune in next week for a Mario's Party Spective where I make Braden play Mario Party with me. Actually, that would be amazing. You and me and Hannah and Rachel playing Mario Party on some like bootleg ROM version that you can play over the internet. Hannah just being like, what is the point? This is just dumb. I don't even know what's going on. You're pretty good. Chapter 10, Luna Lovegood. Speaking of people that you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this is a confusing character, to say the least.
So that is going to be one of my points here. This is basically we traditionally have a traveling to Hogwarts chapter, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
We go to King's Cross, we get on the train, I mean, normal stuff. So, point one, any thoughts on just the trip to King's Cross, how it was different from what we're used to, the fact that Sirius went with them? Anything stand out to you from that, the first kind of portion of the chapter?
I mean, it's a little bit more of a... I don't think it's as fun and lighthearted as normal, because it's like, all right, we're going outside. Let's be careful, because Voldemort's out there.
Yeah, outside is where the murderers are.
Right. Got to watch out for the murderers.
Yeah.
Hide your husband and hide your kids.
So, but they do get to take Sirius with them, and I think that's sweet. Like, I like Sirius running around as a happy dog.
Yeah.
We don't get to see a lot of that.
Chasing his tail a little bit, chasing some birds. Peeing on a fire hydrant.
Yeah, you got to imagine
doing dog things.
He's living it up, yeah.
Yeah.
So we make it there, and I do like that there's just, it doesn't mean anything necessarily, but Lee is just like, hey, nice dog, Harry. And Harry's like, thank you. It's just a normal pet interaction. Like, that's what you do when you see someone that has a nice dog. You say, nice dog. And they're like, you're right, it is a nice dog.
I don't think I ever say that.
You just go right to the dog and you're like, hey, buddy, such a good boy.
That kind of thing. Or like, if I don't know him that well, I might ask, like, is it all right to pet him? Or, just making sure they won't freak out or something. But I don't, like, give them the bro nod and a nice dog.
Walking down the street, I have people that will roll down their window and just yell, nice dog. Or I like your dog. It happens.
I could even see I like your dog more.
Sure.
I don't know why. I just find the short phrase "nice dog" kind of funny, and I kind of want to start doing it more now. Like, I want to be the guy that rolls up next to you and rolls my window down and just says "hey, nice dog," and then speeds off.
I like it because it's these people that would never interact with me if it weren't for that. But they're like, I want to take some time to let you know that you're not the only person that thinks your dog is nice. They're like, we're out here, and I'm affirming you as a dog owner that your dog is nice. And that's all they're doing.
You and your wife, I just wanted to communicate with you that you've done a nice job
Having
on
a dog.
selecting a dog.
Yeah.
And it appears that you're taking care of it, and I think that is nice.
Yeah. Because nice has different connotations. Like, yeah, you did a nice job. You doing a nice job being a dog owner. The dog looks nice, looks like it's a kind animal. That could be another implication.
Yeah.
Nice dog.
It's a nice dog. Like looks like it could be an expensive dog.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
That's a
You
nice
got a
dog
nice
you got
dog.
there. Nice
That's
looking
a
dog.
nice dog. How much you pay for that dog?
Not one of those normal dogs.
Did you where'd you get did you get it from a breeder? Wow, a breeder. And I'm like, no, got it from an Amish family. And so I guess they bred it, but not like a professional breeder.
It was nice.
It was nice. He is honestly, George is a nice dog. So we get there, and I will never love. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire book when we're on page 183, and it's just Sirius running alongside the train trying to keep up with it, and like the kids pointing and laughing and being like, "Nice dog! Look at that dog!" It's not really a whole scene, but it's just one of my favorite visuals. You can picture it so perfectly. Is Sirius, a grown man wanted for murder, is turned into a dog and just chases the train, and it brings you visceral joy to see a dog chasing something. That's what you. That's like what you want out of a dog. Is for it to chase like a frisbee, or like a bike.
Yeah, not so much a train.
I mean,
but I get the idea. I get what you're saying.
My thought is that we, being from Rust Belt, Indiana, aren't as familiar with, like, a commuter train isn't just part of our daily life, like a passenger train, as it would be for these Londoners.
Hold on. The Amtrak goes through Crawfordsville every morning.
Oh, I know. I've cleaned the Amtrak station on multiple occasions. I'm familiar. But how many times have you ridden on a passenger train?
0 times.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just more part of your life, I feel like, if you live in London.
Sure.
Take the train out to the countryside. And it's like, yeah, there's a dog chasing the train for a little bit. And the dog also lives in London, and he gets it. He's like, that's a train. It'll kill me if I touch it. But I can run next to it.
Yeah, it's kind of a short moment of, like, it's kind of a nod to the magical world. Like, we're not so different, you and I.
Yeah.
Like
it's pure joy.
the muggles and the wizards and witches.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said the magicians.
I mean, they are magicians, I guess. They do magic.
I guess that's the term I want to use for people in the magical community.
Like the non-gender specific term.
Yeah, just magicians.
Yeah, you hear like wizarding community. The magical world, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're on the train. We can't see Sirius anymore, but we can't find a seat. This is my second point. This is not a loaded chapter here, but we get a little bit of seating drama because Harry remembers that he can't sit with Ron and Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care about this.
No, I mean, it's further alienating Harry in a time where he's clearly fed up with all the alienation, like from Dumbledore and just, the Order, and he feels like his best friends have kept him in the dark all summer, and so this had to have been kind of a punch to the gut after feeling like, okay, I get to go back to Hogwarts, I'm out of all that, like, I'm going to stay in the know, I get to be with my friends.
And then immediately they're ripped away from him, yeah.
Yeah.
So he ends up sitting with Ginny, Neville, and Luna Lovegood. So what are your thoughts on Luna? General impressions on both Luna and the Quibbler. Because a lot of this chapter is just reading excerpts from the Quibbler.
So the Quibbler to me was like initial reaction, I guess, like one of the painfully ridiculous tabloids you would see in the line, like at the grocery store.
Yeah, like a National Enquirer.
Yeah. Like Brad Pitt seen exiting a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. That's what I don't know. That's sort of the impression I got of the Quibbler, right or wrong. Luna Lovegood. This was just an interesting thing for me because as of right now, she doesn't seem to have a whole lot of purpose as a character, but JKR doesn't just introduce like characters and name a chapter after them for nothing.
Right.
So,
I mean, she starts to pick up at the very end of the chapter when she's like, oh yeah, I can see those skeleton horses too.
Right. So I don't know if she's also parcel tongue like Harry or
snake horses.
Like, I guess I couldn't figure out the connection between her and Harry as of right now. Do we know for a fact Harry's an only child?
I don't know what you want me to say to that. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I know you. It's a rhetorical
answer that
question.
either
I know
way.
you can't answer it because it flashed across my mind. Like, what if Luna is his sister?
It's the sister that he never knew he had.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sister that, I mean, I feel like if Harry has a sister, isn't Aunt Petunia throwing that in his face? Like, oh, where's your sister? Or like Dudley or something. Or, so maybe they don't even know about it. Or maybe it's a half-sister.
Yeah. Probably a half-sister with like, because like why would her last name be Lovegood unless she was adopted maybe?
Yeah, it could have been adopted. So it would be like James and who would be her mom? Well, maybe her mom is Lovegood and she just was raised by her mom, so she took that name. You see that sometimes.
Yeah, that could happen. So
as of right now, Luna's just weird. She's just a weird person that is here.
Yeah, I don't know. There's your weird, hopefully funny prediction for this. She's a half sister to Harry.
Okay. She shares some level of blood with him.
Yep, there's a familial relation there somewhere.
Maybe she's his mom. We don't know. Would it be the weirdest thing that JKR has ever done?
It would probably crack the top 5.
Because she is supposedly younger than him. So,
yeah, we get some Cho Chang interaction.
We do. That's exactly what I have written down for our next point is Cho interaction.
Yo, what up, Cho?
So he's just like, hey.
Yo, baby, yo, baby.
I mean, how was your summer? I was thinking about you.
You trying to get some of this stink sap?
Ooh. I don't like that at all.
That's not where I was going with that,
J.R.
but
Smith?
I instantly regret saying that.
Oh, wow. He does get stink sapped real quick. And like I'm just thinking Neville, like WYD, like what are you doing, Neville? You know exactly what's gonna happen. Even if you don't know Cho's about to walk in, you're like, Harry, do you want me to show you? It's got this cool defense mechanism where it shoots stink sap out everywhere in the whole compartment, and it just coats us. You want me to just do it right now? I'll do it right now.
Here, let me show you how it works. Let me show you how it throws stink sap everywhere.
I'm gonna get hit in the face by it too.
It'll be fun. We'll all do
Harry
it.
explicitly was like, I don't care about this plant, Neville. He's like, no, you do. It's cool. It throws stink sap at you right now. Like, I get that Neville's not the most... It's not a physical coordination thing or, like, an awkwardness thing. This is just an intelligence thing. Like, you got to know. It's not even intelligence. It's just, like, why would you do that? You know pooping, Harry? I could poop my pants right here. You ever seen someone just pee on a wall? Like, there's no reason to do it there. It'd be like... So, have you ever seen Alex Ehrlich make himself throw up? You've witnessed this.
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it in the car with you, you know? He does it outside.
He could, though.
In the ground. He could. But would he?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I wonder if Neville
likes Cho.
Likes Cho.
And so,
it's kind of like, well, I'm breaking up this party with some stink sap.
Counterpoint, he's also getting stink sap all over himself for his interaction with Cho.
Well, he might just be willing to sacrifice. Like, if I can't have her, Harry can't either.
Okay. So he loves her. That's what love is, really.
Yeah. What's love got to do with it?
I'm just picturing Ryan from The Office where he's like, I don't want to date Kelly, but I don't want anyone else to date her either.
Yeah.
Is that love? And Jim was like, yeah, pretty much nailed it. That's love, Ryan.
I love how naturally Office references come to this podcast.
Come to everything.
Yeah.
As someone that works in an office, it's difficult for me when people don't pick up on Office references.
Do you feel yourself sort of like, if you have a weird interaction with one of your coworkers, like doing the Jim look at like a customer at the counter?
I've done that several times. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I feel like I've noticed myself just in my daily life after watching, going through all the seasons of The Office multiple times. Like, I just naturally do the Jim look now. Like, without even, like, it's become a part of, like, my conversational reaction, I guess.
Now, for years, I've done a thing where even if there's just a couple of us in the room having the conversation, if you say something surprising, I'll like look back over my shoulder, like pretending that I think you're talking to someone else. And that's just like a tick. That's just like something that I always did. And so it's kind of a natural extension of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to say I'm the Jim of our office, because that's like,
that's more of an Andy thing to say.
Yeah, that's casting. That's a Michael thing. That's casting yourself as the central character.
That's true. Yeah, Michael thing to say.
But I had a guy that I worked with in Goshen who was really, really into The Office. Like, watched it every day at lunch. Like, we were both extremely familiar with it, and so we kind of really legitimately broke down like, okay, who's who and what's what here. Mm-hmm. And we did end up coming around to me being Jim, but it wasn't just me being like, I see myself as a Jim.
I'm just super Jim-like.
Yeah. His name's Ivan, and he is Mexican, and so we were like, you're Oscar. Like that's just where we are. Is that you're Oscar? And he also like dresses really well. Not that Oscar necessarily dresses super well, but like it like incorporates like multiple aspects of Oscar kind of. And there's a guy from another department who would come over to the teller line and talk to us and like make like super weird jokes and stuff. And he was a combination of Oscar and Ryan. But anyway, that guy, I was like, Ivan, who is it that comes in and just like makes a bunch of like super random, semi-appropriate jokes and then just walks back away? Like, this guy's Packer. Like, we have our own Todd Packer. So.
Hannah and I just recently watched the Threat Level Midnight episode.
Which
is by far my favorite episode.
What are the words to the Scarn? You step to the right and you clap 2 times. You step to the left.
No, you shake hands.
Oh, shake that hand.
Step to the right and you shake some hands. And you step to the left and you shake that hand.
Do a twist, tie some yarn. That's how you do the Scarn.
My name is Michael Scott, and I'm here to say I'm about to do the Scarn in a major way.
Well, that just reminds me of, it's Scranton. What? The Electric City. They call that because of the electricity. I'm sure you guys love us just quoting The Office and laughing.
Welcome to An Office Perspective.
That would be so good.
Yeah. There's already so many. That market is saturated for sure.
If you know of a great Office podcast, get at me. I told you about the one that Rachel listens to that I don't love.
Yes, the market is saturated. It's not saturated with good ones.
Well, we can differentiate ourselves through quality.
Yeah.
And irreverence. And making a lot of Harry Potter references during it, you know?
Yeah.
Last thing, we already kind of touched on it. We arrive at Hogwarts. Two things. Hagrid's not there.
Well, before we get to that,
Okay.
I want to talk about this article from the Quibbler that has Sirius Black as the lead singer of the Hobgoblins.
Yes, please do.
And his name is actually Stubby Boardman.
Yeah.
So it's not that I have a big, huge opinion on that, but I felt like we couldn't just gloss over that. That's a whole lot of fun. I need a Hobgoblins t-shirt, number one.
I would be truly shocked to find that you were not able to buy one of those anywhere on the internet. It's such a good band name.
Yeah.
Such a good wizarding band name.
And absolutely. Stubby Boardman and the Hobgoblins.
Stubby Boardman.
Oh my God, it's Stubby! I just want to touch him!
That's hilarious. I love how the witness for the defense here is Doris Perkis, and they just give her address. Doris, if you want to go talk to Doris, here's where you can find her. Yeah, Hobgoblins are pretty great. And then there's the Cornelius Fudge. Cornelius, what is it? Goblin Crusher Fudge, as his friends call him. Just always freaking punching goblins.
Good old Goblin Crusher. I remember him.
And Harry keeps reading, and he's like, okay, Goblin Crusher. And then when he gets to has them baked in pies, Harry's like, you've lost me.
Ew and no.
You wouldn't eat a goblin pie?
I wouldn't. There's probably not a ton of magical pies that I would eat.
Like a unicorn pie?
Yeah, that sounds gross too.
Are these like pot pies? I mean, if they're meat, like savory pies, you know.
Yeah.
What about like a hippogriff pot pie?
I don't think I want any kind of animal pie.
You're not even a chicken pot pie? A turkey pot pie?
What animals in the magical world are used as food? Do we know that? Has JKR ever expounded on that?
It is possible. I know it is possible to purchase dragon steak.
Okay. So maybe a dragon pot pie?
Like a dragon Wellington. Besides that, I don't know if you know how Hagrid's always cooking like weird rock cakes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I don't know if this might be a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. I just don't know if it's happened already or if it's going to happen in the future. But they're eating like some kind of like beef casserole at Hagrid's house, and they keep eating until Harry finds like a talon in it.
Oh boy!
And so it's like, did Hagrid cook up? Did he kill a hippogriff and cook it up? Is that what it was?
I mean, regardless of what it is, it sure seems like you would de-talon said animal before cooking it.
Yeah, maybe just throw the whole thing in the grinder, maybe.
Because seems like talons could be a pretty serious choking hazard.
Yeah, that's true. So the Quibbler. Any other thoughts on the Quibbler?
Luna's father is the editor.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know how significant that is, but probably her adopted father.
Right. Luna's father, Ron, is the editor.
What?
You know, Ron Weasley and Lily Potter. No, shoot. I thought Luna's dad is James. Okay. James and Ron have a kid named Luna.
James and Ron.
I don't know. It's magical, dude. We're in the magical world here.
Well,
oh, sorry. Dang it. Spoilers.
We're quickly turning into a real Days of Our Lives Hogwarts edition here.
And I'm not opposed.
That could be fun.
So, any thoughts? We'll get more into Hagrid's absence. I mean, that is referenced in later chapters too. But immediate first take, where's Hagrid?
He is off making peace with the giant community.
Okay. And so he just didn't make it back in time?
Yeah, either he didn't make it back in time, or maybe he got there and he was like, I'm home, and like wants to stay there.
Okay. Is there any chance that Dumbledore was like, "This is just you're now a giant guy. That's your new job. You don't need to come work at Hogwarts anymore."
I mean, it could be for the time being, like a special assignment. He's going to spend some time in the minor leagues.
in the big leagues.
Yeah, the giant leagues.
He was really flying back and forth between New York during football season and San Francisco during baseball season. Right now is just hopping time for him.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
See what you did there.
That's one of my favorite things is calling them the New York Football Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Because there used to be a baseball team there too. Called the Giants. The other thing at this point in the chapter is let's see, what are their exact description? They're
More
like,
of that.
Marker. I was obviously doing it on purpose. I don't think listening to Rachel listen to the pod, I think that Jess is cutting out less than what I was hoping she would be cutting out. Of like us going, duh, which page? Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I was just talking to Marcus at lunch, and I was telling him we were going to record, and I forget how we got on the subject of like that we have sound effects. And Marcus is like, yeah, and they're always hilarious because you can basically hear Rogge thinking to like which button to use. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're not cutting that out.
I feel like I have not used enough sound effects today, and I'm sorry for that. So let's see. How is Harry describing them? The coaches were no longer horseless. This is the bottom of page 196. There were creatures standing between the carriage shafts. If he had given them a name, they would be horses. They're completely fleshless. Their black coats clinging to their skeletons, of which every bone was visible. Their heads were dragonish, and their pupilless eyes white and staring. Wings sprouted from each wither, a word that I don't use enough in my daily vocabulary.
Agreed.
Vast black leathery wings that looked like they ought to belong to giant bats. So what are these and why are these?
I don't know, and I don't know. They sound terrifying.
Why is Harry just now seeing these? Because he's finally been reunited with his half-sister. It's like a Captain Planet thing.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. I think it has something to do with his episode with Voldemort. And now he can maybe, since he has come face to face and has been sort of connected with Voldemort via like his blood being used to bring him back, maybe he can see how Voldemort is working behind the scenes. So I feel like maybe these horses are evil.
So he sapped a little bit of like Voldemort powers?
Sure. Yeah.
Is this like you've seen Stranger Things? Yes.
The first season.
First season. Oh, okay. Well, that's not as helpful then. I need at least second season Stranger Things proficiency here.
Okay. I have seen The Office.
Yeah, I can't relate this to anything in The Office or Parks and Rec. I can relate it to things that happen later in Harry Potter.
Let's go with that.
It's sort of like Frodo with the ring. No? How he can see the ring wraiths? Have you seen the movies at all?
No.
Okay, whatever. That's not wrong one. No. Okay. A couple do we cares here. Going way back to the beginning of the chapter, they're almost late because they're waiting for Sturgis Podmore to show up to help as part of the guard. Do we care about that? Sturgis not showing up?
Yeah, because maybe he's gone missing. Maybe he's been abducted by the Death Eaters.
Maybe. Do we care about the twins? I feel like we're getting more and more references of them constantly using magic when they don't need to. It's like they're apparating in and out of rooms and they're, making their trunks fly down the stairs and slam into Ginny, knocking her down 2 flights of stairs. I thought that was interesting. Do we care about this?
Yeah, it seems like that's going to come to a head at some point here in this book and get them in some serious trouble. Or maybe they finally get their time to shine later in this book when they're millions of miles beneath the school. And Fred and George end up saving the day.
Millions of miles.
Yeah, it's escalated as we move on in the series. They just get farther and farther.
So maybe this is the groundwork being laid for them being good at magic so that it's more believable when they do their good magic later on in the books.
Right.
Okay. Do we care about the Mimblus Mimbletonia?
I don't even really remember what that is.
I remember, but can you just say what it is for everyone else? I feel like you do that bit sometimes. I like it.
Yeah.
You didn't do it this time, though, and then I did.
That would have been
didn't make as much sense for me to do it.
It would have been a good opportunity for me to use that.
That's Neville's cactus plant.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it seems like that could be used later. Like the gillyweed.
Sure.
I have to believe that similarly to what I just said about Fred and George, that at some point Neville is going to get his time to shine. He's the son of some pretty important magical characters. His parents were pretty hardcore wizards, right? They were good at what they did.
Yeah, at least his dad was an Auror.
Yeah. So there's got to be some potential in there.
I feel like you've been making that prediction for a couple books now.
Yep. I've been telling people not to sleep on Neville.
Well, at one point you thought Neville was going to turn evil.
I do still worry about that.
He's an impressionable young boy.
He is.
So chapter 11, The Sorting Hat's new song. It took me a little while to come up with my first talking point here. We get a lot of Hagrid confusion, a lot of walking into the Great Hall, some nearly headless Nick. But basically, this is a long song. Do you have any thoughts about the Sorting Hat's new song? What is it? What's Sorting Hat trying to get at here?
Yeah, it's just a big warning. Just all about hey, this is a pretty pivotal time for Hogwarts, and you guys need to stick together.
So is this something that you were expecting the Sorting Hat to be able to do? We haven't seen a ton of Sorting Hat for 3 books.
No, I guess I didn't. I don't ever put a ton of significance on the Sorting Hat, but it seems like I'm supposed to as the reader.
It's definitely one of the most iconic, just magical objects. Like you can look at this thing and be like, "This is a hat that reads your mind and tells you if you're smart or if you're racist." So
Yeah.
it's like it's easy to point to this thing and be like magic. So it becomes more of a big deal in like the fandom and just as like iconography, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a warning. We get a little bit of conversation where they're like, how would it know when to warn us? Do you buy Nearly Headless Nick's explanation on 209? He's like, yeah, the hat gives warnings sometimes. It hangs out in the headmaster's office, so it kind of hears what's going on. And Ron is just like,
yeah, I buy into it, especially if it hangs out in Dumbledore's office. I mean, you'd have to be thinking that there's a lot of serious conversation going on in there about the strategy moving forward.
Yeah. About dogs and fleas.
Yeah, serious conversation.
Is there anything else you want to get to before we get to Umbridge's speech?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I knew we were going to go through this chapter quickly, but we are flying, which is fine. So Umbridge's speech starts on the bottom of 211, kind of 212.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry starts out listening, but then sort of fades out. And you almost, I mean, I don't know about you, I almost find myself doing the same thing when I see a big whole paragraph of her being like, for without progress, there will be stagnation and decay. There again, progress for progress's sake. It's like you just glaze over.
Yeah, it's just completely scripted and has no heart or urgency. It's an HR written, here's what you need to say in front of the kids. Because that's her whole thing as that's the Umbridge she's just a stand-in for the Ministry to keep an eye on Dumbledore and Harry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask was, what do you take away from this to tell you like what her whole thing is, what her goals are?
She's not there to teach defense against the dark arts. She's there to stop people from believing Harry and freaking out about Voldemort.
I don't want to get too bogged down in Umbridge conversation right here. I'm smelling some possible some cow cooking on the grill, you know, next chapter maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good that Hermione kind of sums it up for us and can kind of distill it down for Harry and Ron. Be like, she's talking about progress for the sake of progress, like it's Ministry interfering. It's like, I'm the Ministry, things aren't going to be business as usual. You got to learn how to use your BlackBerry and your PowerPoint. It's meddling.
Yep.
I'm assuming that you feel a certain way about Umbridge now, having read the next chapter. Can you put yourself in your headspace just from this chapter, like what you're thinking of her after she gave that speech? Just getting
I
more
felt
and
like
more
it was pretty
suspicious?
obvious.
Okay.
Like even from this chapter that she was just a talking head from the Ministry.
Now, did you listen to or read this chapter?
I think I listened to this chapter.
Because I love Jim Dale as Umbridge and also his like, him.
Yeah. 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 Jim Dale has added a lot to this series for me.
Yeah, as he should. He's added a lot to my life.
Yeah.
So, then there's one more big topic here at the end of the chapter. We get the Seamus and Dean conversation.
Yeah, it's at the end of this chapter, right? That like the huge blow up between Harry and Seamus, right?
Yeah. So what is going on with that? And what does that tell you about the vibe at Hogwarts, and what do you think about it?
I think that unfortunately it's an example of the dissent that we were talking about earlier already working. It's there. It's happening. Because I mean, I wouldn't have described Seamus and Harry as like great friends before this, but they were like Gryffindor bros, you know.
Yeah, they were friendly. Like, we never saw them
Sure.
argue or anything. Yeah, they weren't. You're right, best friends. Like, that was Ron.
Like this, I feel like the scenes from the movie where they're all hanging out in one of the guys' like bedrooms and playing cards or whatever. Like Seamus is probably there.
yeah, it's the one where Neville becomes an elephant.
Yeah. Isn't Seamus in that scene?
Yeah, Seamus does the monkey one, I think.
Right. So I mean, definitely friends, and like he has let all of this stuff from the Ministry and the Daily Prophet even impact that to where he doesn't trust Harry as a friend or
Yeah.
so that I just feel like it's a representation of what the Sorting Hat was warning against.
Seamus was not listening.
Not at all.
Yeah, like you said, he's known Harry for 4 full years now, like slept in a room with him.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to go home in one summer and be like, yeah, the Daily Prophet's saying that you're crazy, are you? Like, this guy. And so either the writing of the Daily Prophet is much more convincing than I'm picturing as someone that reads the local newspaper sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's like a super impressionable dude. Like, what do you think? Do you think that Harry killed Cedric or whatever? Like, do you think that Harry's lying? Like, do you think that he's a dude that would do that? You've seen him consistently not lie about stuff for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard being, 14 or whatever, and you're getting two conflicting stories from two different authority figures in your life. So it's like, what do you do with that? But
so do you think that this is going to resolve itself anytime soon? Is Seamus going to keep drifting over to the Malfoy side?
I guess I feel like it's only going to get worse with more students involved.
Yeah.
I think that it's probably going to get to the point where it becomes like a political party thing. Like, you're defined by what you believe about Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a pick sides. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate, because, I mean, like, he could be a real ally. And Dean seems like he's at least keeping an open mind. Like,
yeah, he's trying to stay pretty neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only have the one do we care here. Do we care about any of the first years? We get a couple first year names. I think I asked you this last book too.
I don't remember any of the first year names.
So no.
Yeah, probably no.
I think you said last book it was almost too late for them to develop into a meaningful character.
Yeah. Which is probably inaccurate. And there's quite a bit of story left. But
that takes us to chapter 12, our final chapter on this week's episode of A Muggle's Perspective. We're covering Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. If you're just tuning in, chapter 12, Professor Umbridge, page 221 if you're following along with us. Love the picture. The heading on page 221.
yeah.
It's so good.
Terrifying, honestly.
Because, like, it always describes her as toad-like, and I find that difficult to picture sometimes. But
this illustration really gets you there.
Yeah. With the wide jowls and so forth. It makes her look older than I picture her in my mind's eye, though.
I agree. I guess from the description, I didn't have her as like a I don't know, 50, 60-year-old woman. I had her more as like late 30s.
I probably put her in mentally in her mid 40s to about 50. But I think this picture
Yeah.
I'm looking at looks to me like 75.
Yeah. I would have said 60s.
Yeah, could be 60s too. And everyone ages differently. So, Professor Umbridge, I don't know how you want to do this chapter. I'm sure you have some thoughts, and I'm sure that they are centered largely around one particular portion of the chapter. This is another chapter that we get a lot. It's the first day of school. Let's go and spend 2 pages in like 3 different classes. Just kind of hit them. Oh, yep. Here's Snape. Here's Trelawney. Like that stuff's all still normal. Let's reestablish those dynamics. So I don't think we necessarily have to spend a ton of time in any of those classes. But if you do have thoughts on them, I'd love to hit them. We get some Fred and George action in the very beginning. Some solicitation.
Which is a hilarious ad. It's just like, hey, do you need some more money? Come work for us. Oh, and once you apply, like, I mean, it's kind of your own risk.
Yeah. Simple, part-time, virtually painless jobs.
Virtually.
And Hermione's freaking out, and I'm never 100% sure. Like, what rule are they breaking? She's... Dang it.
We should honestly probably cut the soundboard.
What? We should cut the soundboard?
Like, I don't know if it's funnier that we never get the sound right, or if it makes more work for Jessica.
I assume that she just leaves it in when I get it wrong.
Right. I don't know if Hermione's going to take this whole prefect thing too far. I kind of worry about that.
Percy?
Probably not to that level, but just sort of, well, yeah, maybe to that level. I don't know. She's very much a rule follower and wants everyone else to be a rule follower. Mm-hmm. And like you said, I don't see what Fred and George are doing wrong here.
Yeah, like I need to see the code of conduct and have it say that like students cannot operate a for-profit business or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it seems like they covered their bases. Like they legitimately put in like fine print.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We've got OWLs coming up this year. Owl tests that Fred and George tell us about. Do we have thoughts on those?
Sounds like they're super hard from Fred and George, their perspective. They kind of made it sound like it's gonna take a lot of time and effort to be able to get the accepted marks. Almost like huge final exams that like you can't move on without passing, and you're going to be tested on a lot of material.
I'm kind of thinking of like AP tests.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of something to keep in the back of our mind. Like that's coming up by the end of this year, you know?
Yeah.
Though I'm sure it'll continue to be referenced. We get to go to potions and divination. Do you remember anything particularly noteworthy? Oh, and history of magic. Shows you how noteworthy I thought that was.
Potions, we get started off the year just like we thought we would, with Snape being ridiculously unfair to Harry and kind of making an example out of him.
Yeah, for no reason. Like it said, Harry's potion was better than some other people's that he didn't screw over as completely.
Yeah. So that, I mean, yeah, this is another swing of the pendulum of how should we feel about Snape as a character.
Yeah. Like, is he just trying to overcompensate because he's
Right.
in the Order of the Phoenix, and so he needs to continue to make himself look mean enough? Because in some ways he's getting closer to them, or
Yeah.
are these his true colors coming out?
Seems like true hatred, because I don't know if seems to be taking it pretty far in terms of compensating for being a part of the order.
Yeah. I mean, Harry literally isn't doing anything to him. He's just trying to brew a potion.
Right.
He isn't like super rude in class for the most part, or disruptive or anything.
Yeah.
He legit gets picked on. So we go to divination. You have a pretty strong long-term stance of just ignoring divination.
Yeah, I don't know. I choose not to care about Professor Trelawney.
Yeah. It looks like they're doing dreams this year.
Yes.
We don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Divination just doesn't do it for me.
Well, that gets us to a class that might do it for you a little bit more. I might have some more thoughts on it. Defense Against the Dark Arts: a return to basic principles. So I assume that I'm going to be pressing a certain button that I know where it is on here at some point. But talk to me about that class. What's the vibe like? What does that tell you about the new teacher? Those kinds of things. What are we learning?
It's a textbook lecture class. So Umbridge, like I said earlier, is just a talking head from the ministry they're just going to walk through a textbook in this class and understand theory with no real life application, which is the dumbest thing of all time in a class called Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah, if it's called defense, it absolutely, by definition, cannot just be theoretical.
Right. So this just reeks of ministry propaganda, I guess.
So my question is, why this class? Why this specific tact? I mean, if they need someone to watch over Dumbledore and spy on him and all that stuff, that's fine. I feel like you can make up a position and just have her come like be the school board assessor 3 times a week or whatever. Why do you think they put her in this class specifically and had her change the curriculum in this way?
I don't know. I just think it's like a mind-numbing, almost a. Trying to think how to explain it. Like, she is so boring, and the class will be so boring that kids will just sort of forget about dark arts being a imminent threat.
Okay.
So it's like, guys, all we need is theory, because the dark arts aren't even going to be a thing that you're going to... Like, she says multiple times throughout this chapter, like, oh, do you expect to be attacked in this classroom?
Which is just a crazy, like, like straw man argument. Like, no one's saying that's what's going to happen. We're saying that we need to be trained so that in our lives we can defend ourselves.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing just from the ministry's standpoint. Like, that Fudge cares that little about his kids being well equipped. That he cares that little about the students being well equipped to defend themselves. Like, he's willing to put that in jeopardy for the sake of his reputation.
Yeah. Like, legitimately sacrifice some of their abilities as witches and wizards. Yeah. So she seems like she's a peach. At least she's nice, you know? And a good teacher. Seems like she has a good, like, solid pedagogical, basis.
I guess when I read it, I read it more as fake.
Like she's not even trying to teach.
She's
I was
not trying to
joking with
teach,
all
but
of
like
that. That was me being
okay,
sarcastic.
all right, okay.
Haha.
Well, she does try to come across nice. Like she's got the soft
laughing?
spoken voice and
Yeah, she like overly saccharine, just like sugary sweet.
yeah.
Do you have any specific beef with this? Pwah, 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 pwah.
Braden's beef. Well, so my question, first of all, is so the ministry sets all the curriculum. Is that correct?
Traditionally, over the last 30 years, Dumbledore has kind of just made the curriculum what he wanted.
So if that's the case, why? And I'm not trying to accuse Dumbledore of anything, but like, why did he let her? I would assume that Dumbledore and McGonagall and other members of other leadership in the School of Hogwarts have to vote on like who they want to be the next Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, right?
Do you think?
I guess this makes me think no, like that the ministry just decides who they want and overrules Dumbledore.
Yeah, I think in this case, I mean, I don't know how much to tell you about this. I don't think it really matters, honestly. But basically, the ministry has let Dumbledore have pretty much free reign up to this point because he's Dumbledore and he's respected and stuff. But like technically, as a public school, Hogwarts like falls under the umbrella of the ministry.
Yeah.
So this is just Fudge like swooping back in and flexing his muscles and being like, "Oh, no, this is still a government-run thing," and placed her directly, like over the head of. I'm sure McGonagall didn't give a vote of confidence for this person.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, really, my beef is that the ministry is more worried about their reputation than the protection and equipping of their students.
Yeah, pretty explicitly. I mean, Umbridge's whole thing is Voldemort is not back. There is no one here who is going to attack you. You do not need to learn magic for anything. School is just all about passing tests and then moving on.
Yeah.
And then we do get into, do you want to talk at all about the Harry getting detention, about the kind of argument, like how things actually go in class with her being like, your hand isn't up, I can't call on you?
Yeah, I think it's the entire premise of bringing in Umbridge and basically walking them back through theory is just really a slap in the face to the level of students that Hogwarts has and has produced over the years and is currently producing. It's
condescending and insulting.
It's super condescending, and I think that Harry and his classmates are old enough and discerning enough to see that, and it creates a lot of anger, and rightfully so. Like they deserve better than this, I guess.
And it's interesting to see that it's not just Harry, Ron, and Hermione pitching a fit here. It's Dean and Parvati and Neville all raising their hands and trying to... Did Neville? I know Dean and Parvati did. I want to say Neville maybe said something.
Yeah.
But they are like, you're not being logically consistent. Like, I'm not following. Even if we ignore the part about you denying that Voldemort's back, like, you realize we have to do spells for our OWLs. Like, that's not changing.
Yeah.
So this curriculum is not going to prepare us for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it's just annoying that like their education is a foregone, like this is just ministry propaganda is what this class is. It's not worth their time. It's not furthering their education.
Yeah.
It's just like we need to control the situation of people thinking Voldemort's alive. So like we'll just use that class as a chance to corral everybody. It's just unfair to the students.
This does give us a chance to get some fun Professor McGonagall conversation. That's my last talking point here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that interaction?
How about you ask me a question about that conversation?
Sure. So we get McGonagall. McGonagall reads the note, which, like, why did Umbridge write her a note? I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on there. I'd love to read that note.
I think it plays into the whole, like, we're going to treat them like children.
Yeah, that's true. And then she asks Harry to have a biscuit.
Twice.
Twice. So instead of giving Harry cookies, instead of giving Harry punishment, she gives him cookies. Why? What point is she trying to make here?
It's a subtle yet not so subtle way of telling Harry, look, I'm on your team, but you can't have outbursts like this. We've got to lie low.
It's all about controlling your emotions here.
Right.
Which historically, not Harry's strong suit.
Not so much. And I feel like it gets worse with time in this series. Like Harry gets less and less apt to keeping his emotions in check. Like he gets more and more brave as time goes on with saying what he thinks.
Yeah, that's weird that a 15-year-old would be more impetuous than an 11-year-old who's terrified of everything, you know?
Yeah.
I'm saying that sarcastically, but I think that it is consistent. Like,
right.
Classic 15-year-old. I mean, some 15-year-olds do have a good handle on their emotions when they're dealing with adults or whatever, but not all of them. So I think it's, the trauma that we've discussed ad nauseum, plus hormones, plus whatever else. So
yeah, and I think that proves to be true in real life. Anytime a 15, 16, whatever year old feels that they are being treated as a child, the response is typically pretty negative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how the ministry saw this going well.
Yeah, like, you might as well just be like, hey, for Defense Against the Dark Arts, you're reading this book. Like, all this class is just sit down and read the book. Like, don't even try to do the thing where it's like, Miss Granger, what is your name? Okay. Good evening, Professor Dumbledore. Like, all of that, or Professor Umbridge, that stuff is just like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Blech. Did you catch that she gave him detention every night for the whole week?
Yeah, and that felt strategic, I guess, and like, let's keep Harry away from people he could tell about Voldemort.
Mm-hmm. Occupied his time.
Mm-hmm.
A couple do we cares here. Do we care about Quidditch tryouts coming up?
Yeah, because we need a keeper. I vote Ron.
Okay. Ron's got the reflexes. Ron likes Quidditch. Just got a new broom.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get involved with the team. I think that could be a fun duo with him and Harry.
Yeah. Do we care about... What is it? What did I write here? I wrote Hermione getting... Oh, Hermione still gets the Daily Prophet, and Ron can't believe it. Do we agree with one or the other of them, or do we care in general?
I mean, I believed Hermione's strategy in that. Like, it's good to stay up on what the enemy is. The ideology they're trying to push.
Not get sucked into like a bubble where you think everyone is just saying good stuff because that's the only people that you're listening to.
Right. Exactly.
Do we care about? We skipped over this intentionally so we could do we care on it? Ron versus Cho Quidditch fandom.
I don't think it's significant to the story other than I could see Ron. This could end up being a tension point between Ron and Harry that like Ron doesn't think Cho's as great as everybody else does.
Because she's a Tornadoes fan?
Right. But I loved Ron's whole like, because that's how I feel about like Golden State Warriors fans and anywhere LeBron plays.
Yeah. I mean, some people will just straight up tell you that they just like LeBron and are following him from team to team.
Yeah.
Some people are just honest about
I hate that. I appreciate the honesty, but I don't like it.
Much better to just have Indiana professional sports teams just stab us in the face like every 18 months, just get wrecked by whatever. I mean, going back for so long.
Freaking hard to be an Indiana sports fan.
Yeah. I mean, we got the Super Bowl, the 06 Super Bowl. Appreciate it. Shouts to Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dwight Freeney.
Yeah.
But the Pacers are like a low-key snake bit franchise.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it was just Reggie Miller's birthday yesterday, and so I saw people posting on Twitter about like, you know, the 8 points 9 seconds and like one of like a legend, and then a couple people were like, he was a legit killer. Like, he just happened to be in his entire prime for all of Michael Jordan's prime.
Yep.
And then made it to the finals when MJ retired and ran into Shaq and Kobe and pushed him to 6 games. And then you had like the Rick Smiths injuries and then the brawl, the Malice of the Palace.
Yeah. Paul George's broken leg.
Yep. And then trade request and then Vic's injury.
Not to keep
Peyton
talking
Manning's
about
neck.
like the whole Andrew Luck thing, but
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend last night too who was like, so he said, I don't want to go here, but I'm going to. You have to wonder, with the hindsight and perspective you have now on Andrew Luck, what if we hadn't had told Peyton to get out?
I mean,
and potentially took another Super Bowl with him, and wherever Luck went, sure, he'd have some great seasons, but he was going to retire at 29.
But I mean, Peyton, I think, I'm not a cap expert when it comes to the NFL, but I thought that there was some financial reason that it was like, it's basically happening that he's leaving. Especially because he sat out a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the amount that he was being paid, like it was only going to be feasible to like cut him and not keep him around for that amount. It was something like that. And I could be wrong about that, but I thought I remembered there being some aspect like that to it.
Yeah. I wasn't mad about it at the time.
I mean, we made the playoffs a bunch of times under Luck.
Yep.
And so, I mean, what I'm thinking is, were you, like me, a little confused about why they didn't spend a bunch of money this offseason? Colts had like the most salary cap room in the league and didn't sign any high-priced free agents.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me just because I think free agency in the NFL is a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but if you do it smartly, I mean, the Eagles have really gotten a lot of depth and bolstered their rotation, but you have to it's not just like, I think I agree that paying top of the market prices in free agency for the best cornerback and linebacker and running back are bad ideas, but I think that you can build depth through free agency.
And I feel like the Colts did that.
They did some. But they're sitting on like $50 million in salary cap space or something right now.
Yeah.
So,
well,
was there a little
probably have to go pay a quarterback now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's like, does that mean they're just gonna tank another year? I mean, how many games do the Jacoby Brissett led Colts win? 6?
I don't know.
More than
Coach
6?
like Frank Reich and Chris Ballard seemed to think it could be more than everyone's giving him credit for.
Of course I think that. Frank Reich isn't going to be like, yeah, pencil us in for 5 wins this year, guys.
I don't know, but even how hard they've worked to keep Jacoby Brissett around before we knew Luck was retiring,
right.
It seems like they are like, no, this guy's great.
Right.
Like, we need to keep him around.
He's an excellent backup. I don't think he's an excellent starter.
Right.
I think if they get league average quarterback play, then that's great. So we'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, who are you going to tank for?
Tua.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I'm not tanking for Tua.
Why?
No.
That
dude is a product of Alabama football. Who's the last great Alabama quarterback to come out and be successful in the NFL?
No one, none of them. But none of them looked or played anything like Tua. I'm not in any way a college football expert. My understanding from like reading an article about the second half of the championship game every year is that he's like a more mobile, like actually strong arm, not game manager. But
yeah, he's really good.
Trevor Lawrence.
I thought Marcus Mariota was really good too.
Yeah, so did I, man.
And
what's the Oregon guy? Herbrook?
Justin Herbert. I think.
Too tall.
Yeah. I don't trust anybody out of the Pac-10. And I say that, and Andrew Luck was great, but
yeah, he was.
I don't know.
He was briefly great. Thank you for listening to this episode of Muggles Perspective. We really appreciate your patronage by supporting us on Patreon. We just actually recently, we got a new patron. Shouts to the new patron, J.S. Adito.
J.S. Adito.
Yeah. So shout out to him. Also shout out everyone. There were some really cool, like legitimately meaningful conversations going on the Facebook page I saw recently. I
saw this. Yeah.
And doesn't that just make you be like, wow? Like
those it did.
2 people would never have interacted in their lives if it wasn't for us talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So I thought that was really, really cool.
Oh,
I love it.
Also, we need to talk about that. I think there was an issue with the way I've been saying Premier League.
Oh, really?
Did you read
Premier?
that? Yeah, he's like, I think I read that the way I was saying this was making a listener like want to throw up or something like that.
Isn't he Scottish or something?
I thought it was Irish.
Maybe. Same thing, right?
Please feel free to tell me how I'm supposed to be saying that.
Yeah. And by all means, do it via Howler.
Yeah, that would be more fun.
Howl in. I don't know if you can do it internationally, though. Isn't that what Carla said? Maybe you can. Maybe you can't.
Yeah, I don't
Howl
know.
in. We would love for you to correct our pronunciations on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, mock them. Just really, really rip into us for that. That would be great.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think I'm supposed to be saying Premier League?
I feel like I've heard Premier before, but I feel like I've only heard that from like British people or inhabitants of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I feel like even soccer analysts and soccer fans say Premier League in the United States.
Well, I would love to be saying it correctly. So
yeah, call into the Howler. Do you have that number in front of you?
it is 978-768-8370.
Which conveniently spells it 978 Potter 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Potter 0. I know that we haven't been playing them the last couple episodes, but we're going to throw some of them on, like we said, the Goblet of Fire Muggies, which will be great. Thank you to our consistent Howlers. Thank you to our first-time, long-time Howlers. We love it all. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Support us on patreon.com/mugglesperspective. Thank you to producer Jeremy, who got sick again or something.
Poor guy.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Thank you to editress Jessica. Thank you to Rachel. No thank you to Hannah for not coming on the pod. You do not get a thank until you come on the pod. More. So.
She is working, paying the bills.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying that I'm mad that she's not on right now. She's saving lives. But in general, come on the pod and roll your eyes at me for my lack of understanding about basic human anatomy.
Welcome to my life.
That's the that's the content that we all want. Even when you were saying that you watched The Office with her, I wouldn't have been if you'd asked me 7 years ago if Hannah Rogers loved The Office. I could see her sitting down to the first 2 episodes and being like, Braden, this is stupid. He's just Michael. He's just dumb.
No, that's how that was. It took some real coaxing.
Yeah.
Like, please give this like 3 seasons. You will not regret it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge accomplishment for me in our marriage, is converting her to an Office fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I'm proud of you for that. We're all happy.
Thank you.
We're all happy for you. Dang it.
Thank you.
It's that one. The laughter and the applause, I get them switched around. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week, probably with chapters 13 through 15. Anything else, Braden?
I think that covers it. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks, guys.